And now black is threatening to play bishop to g4, which pins the knight. So that's why here Carlsen brings his knight to t2. Opening the diagonal for this bishop, as well as maybe this knight can be rerouted to e3 square. Maybe he wants to play bishop f2, targeting this knight, which also damages the pawn structure. Okay, so that's an inaccuracy by Gukesh. This is because you are unnecessarily moving the knight back to the corner to target this bishop, and if you have to do this, then he must grab this bishop before. And the most important thing that here black can't castle towards any side. This is because suppose if black didn't play the move knight to h5 and instead he decides to castle suppose long side, then white will play this amazing move b4, trying to open the structure. And if suppose knight to a4 takes knight to c5, and after this white will castle short side, and now you can see that white can start pushing his pawns as well as attacking towards the black king. And suppose, so let's go back to this move, and suppose in this position if he decides to castle suppose short side, then it is also losing because now white will play h4, attacking towards this pawn structure. And if suppose black plays f6, trying to maintain this structure, takes, and after this white will castle long side, and in the next move white will exchange this knight, and then he can make a battery of his rooks. And you can see that white is also winning here. So that's why after c takes d5, it's important for black to keep his king, to keep his king in the center, or just play king to e7. There's no need to castle because black is already protected by his own pieces. Okay, so after this move, here white played And that's an inaccuracy by Carlson. This is because there is no point of attacking towards this queen side, because suppose after takes, black can simply play knight to a4, and you can see that everything is well defended by the black. Instead of b4, yeah, in this position here white must consider the move h4, trying to destroy this pawn structure. And suppose if black pushed his pawn further, simply rook to f1. Okay, and if black decides to capture, rook takes f3, and if suppose black captured the pawn on e4, targeting this queen, simply queen to e2 with the idea of rook to f5 and then queen to g4 check. Okay, so let me show you. Suppose if black tries to defend this pawn by rook at a goes to b8, yeah, this pawn, simply rook to f5 with the same idea of queen to g4 check. And suppose if black tries to stop this by knight to f6, white will simply castle alongside and then makes a battery which targets this knight. And now I hope that you all understand the whole idea, and you can clearly see that white is here winning. Okay, so in the actual game, after knight to a4, okay, so that's an inaccuracy by Carlson. Instead, he must bring his rook to e1, keeping an eye towards this e5 pawn, because now Gukesh finds the best move e4, trying to open up the white king. And after this, Magnus gives a check first, and now and here, yeah, it's better for black to just defend this check with the pawn, which also strengthens this pawn chain. But here Gukesh decides to bring his king back to g8. Okay. Now it's better for Carlson to just bring back his rook to c2, guarding this second rank, but here Carlson blunders by playing rook to e5. This is because after queen to h3, now you can see that black is now creating multiple threats, like suppose queen to g2 check and then rook takes a3 with the idea of rook to a2 check. And in this position, Magnus Carlsen resigned. This is your host Bison signing off. Bye bye.